Antrum, also known as the Antrum The Deadliest film ever made, is a 2018 American mockumentary horror film written and directed by David Amato and Michael Lacini. The film is divided into two parts, an opening and closing frame narrative in the form of a mockumentary, and a feature film. The documentary purports to tell the story of Antrum, a movie released in the late 70s that supposedly has deleterious effect on those who watch it. The bulk of the movie is made up of what is allegedly the only known print of the film, which has itself been altered by an unknown third party. Now let's see the plot of the movie. The film starts with a legal notice that if you die, it is not our responsibility. So, it starts in 1979, a film named Antrum, shot in English, but apparently Bulgarian origin is submitted for inclusion in a variety of film festivals. None accepts it. Shortly after rejection, the various festival directors die under suspicious circumstances. Several years ago, during which the film remains unseen until it is mysteriously appears at a theater in Budapest in 1988. During the screening, a fire breaks out, burning the theaters to the ground. Initially believed to be the result of a faulty projector, investigators later determined that audience members set the fire themselves. The film again goes unseen for many years until it is screened in a theater in California in 1993. Prior to the film, a concession stand's worker does popcorn with LSD. The combination of the drug and the film result in a riot during which a pregnant woman is killed. Following the screening, all copies of the film apparently vanish, and it earns a reputation as being cursed. In 2018, a copy of Antrum surfaces, prompting a documentary crew to make a short film on its history and impact, although the origins of the movie remain unknown. Scientists and film experts who examined the 35mm reel determined that, among other unique properties, the film utilizes disorienting sounds and subliminal imagery. The documentary crew further determines that unrelated black and white snippets of an unapparent stuff film have been spliced into the original movie by a third party. The documentary pauses so that Antrum may be represented in its entirety for the first time in 25 years. Now let's start with the main story of a movie. Antrum concerns sibling Aurelie and Nathan, whose pet dog Maxine was recently euthanized after Nathan asks if Maxine went to heaven. Their mother informs him that because she was a bad dog, Maxine has gone to hell. Traumatized, Nathan begins experiencing disturbing dreams and visions of demons. In an effort to ease his mind, Aurelie claims to have obtained a grimoire from an imagery classmate named Ike, whom she claims is versed in the cult. Using the book, in fact, a sketchbook, Aurelie has filled herself with arcane drawings and spells. She takes Nathan to a nearby forest, locally renowned as a place for suicide, telling him that it is the place where Satan fell to earth when he was cast out of heaven, and that if they can find the place where he landed, the pair can dig a hole to hell and rescue Maxine. Aurelie guides Nathan through a series of rituals and rites, intending all along to arrange for Nathan to discover Maxine's collar in the woods as a sign they have saved her soul. As the day progresses, Aurelie is disturbed to find that her spells are having apparent effect on the real world, conjuring actual infernal figures. Additionally, the pair accidentally interrupts a man attempting seppuku and obviously pass by the rotting corpse of a suicide near the campsite. Their first night in the woods, Nathan spills out of the tent and sees a boat being rowed in a nearby stream by a figure resembling Karen, who ferries a nude woman. He likewise hears a rattling chain that he attributes to Cerberus. The next day, Nathan and the O'Reilly stumble upon a pair of cannibals in the wood, who capture a cook people alive inside a giant iron statue of a Baphomet, including the men whose suicide attempt they are earlier interrupted. When the cannibals became aware of their presence, O'Reilly attempts to take herself and Nathan to safety by abandoning their camp and rowing downriver in the boat Nathan saw the night before. The pair both end up falling into the water. O'Reilly and Nathan make it to shore, only to realize they have moved in a circle and are back at their camp. The cannibals capture them and attempt to cook Nathan, but O'Reilly escapes her cage and frees Nathan. As Nathan flees, O'Reilly obtains a gun and shoots the cannibals to death. In the woods, Nathan stumbles across a dog with its paw caught in a bear trap. Nathan frees the animal, taking it as a sign he has freed Maxine from hell. The end title card appears on screen. The film abruptly resumes, following O'Reilly as she runs through the woods, pursued by demons and experiencing violent hallucinations. She hides in the pair's tent, aiming her gun at the entrance. As Nathan approaches, a panicked O'Reilly opens fires and the film's end. The documentary resumes shortly after this, with scholars observing a rune see throughout the film belonging to a demon named Astaroth. Examples of the rune appearing subliminally throughout the film are shown as historians recount tragedies attributed to the demon throughout the history.